Hello students, welcome to the Java class. In this video, we are going to see in detail about the set interface. So first we are going to see the hierarchy of set interface. So this is the hierarchy of set interface. So what is a set interface? Set interface is a child interface of collection. So that is point number one. So what are the implementation classes of set interface? The first implementation class is hash set. Okay. Next, this hash set has a child class, that is linked hash set, and set interface has a child interface. So what is the child interface of set? The child interface of set is sorted set, and this sorted set has another child interface, that is navigable set. Okay, and this navigable set has a implementation class which is nothing but a tree set. So this is the complete hierarchy of set interface. So what is the point number one? Point number one is set interface is a child interface of collection interface. That is, set interface is a child interface of collection interface. So when we should go for set interface? When exactly we should go for a set? If we want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity where duplicates are not allowed and insertion orders are not preserved. In that situations, we should go for set interface. That is, if we want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity where duplicates are not allowed and insertion order is not preserved. In that case, we should go for set interface. Next, set interface has how many methods? Set interface has 108 methods. Okay. Now we are going to learn all the 108 methods. So please open your book and start note down this 108 methods. So set interface has how many methods? It has 108 methods. So how many methods set interface has? Set interface doesn't contain any new methods. Okay, don't worry. Set interface does not contain any new methods. So what set interface consists of? The set interface, we have to use only the collection interface methods. Okay, set interface does not contain any new methods. We have to use only the collection interface methods. So is it clear? So this is about the set interface. So what is the point number one? Point number one is set interface is a child interface of collection. When we should go for set? If we want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity where duplicates are not allowed and insertion order is not preserved, then we should go for set interface. Next, set interface consists of how many methods? Set interface does not contain any new methods. We have to use only collection interface methods. Okay. So now we have to see the first implementation class of set interface. So what is the first implementation class of set interface? That is hash set. Okay. The first implementation class of a set is hash set. Okay. So hash set is a collection, right? Yes. Hash set is a collection. So since it is a collection, every collection objects are implemented based on some data structure. So what is the underlying data structure of hash set? The underlying data structure of hash set is hash table. That is point number one. The underlying data structure of hash set is hash table. Next, can we insert duplicate object into the hash set? No, duplicate objects are not allowed in the case of hash set. Remember that duplicate objects are not supported in any set interfaces. Okay. Next, what about insertion order? Does the insertion order is preserved in the case of hash set? No, insertion order is not preserved. Remember, insertion order is not preserved in any set interfaces. Okay. So what happens when we insert an object? How it will be stored? When we insert an object into the hash set, the elements will be stored according to their hash code. Okay. So insertion order is not preserved, but when the objects are inserted, the objects are stored according to their hash code values. Okay. Next, can we insert null into the hash set? Yes, we can insert null into the hash set. That is, null insertion is possible. Next, how many times we can insert null? We can insert null only one time. Okay, null insertion is possible but only once. What about heterogeneous objects? Does the set or hash set support heterogeneous objects? Yes, hash set supports heterogeneous objects. That is, heterogeneous objects are allowed in the case of hash set. Next, hash set implements which interfaces? Hash set implements serializable and clonable interfaces. Okay, it implements serializable and clonable interfaces, but not random access. So you know that random access interface is implemented only by ArrayList and vector interfaces. Correct? No? Yes. But what about serializable and clonable? Serializable and clonable are implemented by every interfaces. Remember this. Next, when the hash set is the best choice? So hash set is the best choice if our frequent operation is searching operation. So hash set is the best choice if our frequent operation is search operations. So these are the properties of the hash set. So what are the properties? The underlying data structure is hash table. Duplicate objects are not allowed. What about the insertion order? Insertion order is not preserved and it is based on the hash code of the objects. When we insert an object, the objects are stored according to their hash code. Next, what about null insertion? Null insertion is possible. How many times I can insert the null? Only one time. What about heterogeneous objects? Heterogeneous objects are allowed. Next, hash set implements which interfaces? It implements serializable and clonable, but not random access interface. So when hash set is the best choice? Hash set is the best choice if our frequent operation is search operation. Now we will see one note point. So first I am going to create an hash set. So hash set h is equal to new hash set. So next I am going to add one element into this hash set. So h dot add of a. Okay. Next I am going to add one more element h dot add of a. So now tell me, in a hash set, duplicate elements are allowed or what? No, duplicate objects are not allowed. So what I am doing here, I am trying to add duplicate objects. So what will happen if I try to add a duplicate objects? Will I get any compile time error? No, I will not get any compile time error. Will I get any runtime exceptions? No, I will not get any runtime exceptions. So what will happen? What will happen? The method returns just false. So that is, in a hash set, duplicates are not allowed. So what happens if I try to add a duplicate elements? If we are trying to insert a duplicate elements, what will happen? We will not get any compile time error or runtime exception. Then what we will get? The add method just returns false. So that is, if I try to print this system dot out dot println of h dot add of a. So what it will return? First time a is not duplicated. So first time it will return true. Okay. So similarly here I am going to take within the print statement system dot out dot println h dot add of a. Since a already exists, if I try to add a once again, what will happen? We will not get any compile time error or we will not get any runtime exception. The add method just returns what? It just returns false. So remember this. So what is this point? In a hash set, if we try to add a duplicate elements, what will happen? We are not going to get any compile time error or we are not going to get any runtime exception. So the add method just returns false in this case. Okay. Now we are going to see the constructors of hash set. So hash set totally has 4 constructors. So what is the first constructor? The first constructor is hash set h is equal to new hash set. So what this constructor is going to do? This constructor is going to create an empty hash set object. So what will be the default initial capacity? The default initial capacity will be 16. Okay. Next, there is a concept called as fill ratio. So what will be the default fill ratio? The default fill ratio is 0.75. So what is this fill ratio? So I will explain what is this fill ratio now. This fill ratio is also called as load factor. Okay. The fill ratio is also called as load factor. So what it means? After filling how much ratio, a new hash set object will be created. This ratio is called as fill ratio or load factor. That is, for example, consider this. If the example fill ratio is 0.75, what does it mean? It means that after filling 75% of the contents, so after filling 75% of the capacity of the hash set, a new bigger hash set will be created. So what is the default capacity? The default capacity is 16. That means after filling 9, after filling 9 elements, when we are trying to fill the 10th element, a new bigger hash set will be created automatically. Okay, so we can vary this fill factor. Okay, so this is the default fill factor, that is 0.75. Depending on our requirement, we can vary this. So this is about the first constructor, hash set h is equal to new hash set, which is going to create an empty hash set object with a default initial capacity of 16 and a default fill ratio of 0.75. That is, when the hash set is 75% filled, a new bigger hash set will be created automatically. That is the meaning of fill ratio 0.75. Next, the second constructor. In the second constructor, we can specify our own initial capacity. That is, second constructor, hash set h is equal to new hash set of initial capacity. Here we are trying to give our own initial capacity. Okay, so it creates an empty hash set object with a specified initial capacity. If I specify initial capacity of 1000, it is going to create an empty hash set object with 1000 capacity. So what will be the default fill ratio? The default fill ratio will be 0.75. If we doesn't specify the fill ratio, it will take the default fill ratio. The value is 0.75. Okay. So next, the third constructor. In this third constructor, what we are doing? Hash set h is equal to new hash set of. We are specifying both. We are specifying both initial capacity and fill ratio. Int initial capacity and float fill ratio. What it is going to create? It is going to create an empty hash set object with the specified initial capacity and with the specified fill ratio. Okay. So if I specify the fill ratio as 0.9, what does it mean? It means that once the hash set is 90% filled, a new bigger hash set will be created. So that is the meaning of fill ratio. Next, the fourth constructor is hash set h is equal to new hash set of collection C. So why this constructor is required? This constructor is required to convert a given collection into an hash set. Okay. So why this constructor is required? This constructor creates an equivalent hash set for the given collection. So to convert any given collection into the hash set, we can make use of this constructor. So these are the constructors of hash set. Now we are going to see an example for hash set. So first I am going to import java.util.star. Next I am going to create a class called hash set demo. Class hash set demo. So within this class I am going to define a main method, public static void main string array args. So now I am going to create an hash set. So how to create an hash set? Hash set h is equal to new hash set. So what this constructor is going to create? This constructor is going to create an empty hash set object. What will be the default initial capacity? The default initial capacity will be 16 and the default fill ratio will be 0.75. Next, I want to add an element into the hash set. So how to add an object into the hash set? By using which method we can add an object into the hash set? By using add method. So h dot add of. So first I am going to add a. Next h dot add of b. Next h dot add of 10. Next h dot add of null. Next h dot add of. So once again I will try to add a. You know that in an hash set, heterogeneous objects are allowed. Here I am passing string object and here I am passing integer object. So what about null? Null insertion is possible. What about duplicate? Can I insert duplicate object into the hash set? No, we cannot insert duplicate objects into the hash set. So what happens when I try to insert a duplicate object into the hash set? When I try to insert duplicate object into the hash set, we will not get any compile time error, or we will not get any runtime exception. What will happen? The add method just returns false. So I will print here, it will just return false. System dot out dot println h dot add of a. It is going to return false because a already exists in this hash set. So next I am going to print the content of this hash set. So how to print the content? System dot out dot println of h. So what it will print? Will it print a, b, 10 and null? No, you know that in an hash set the insertion order is not preserved. So how the elements are stored in an hash set? The elements are stored according to their hash code value. So save the program, compile the program, Java C hash set demo.java. Yes. Now run the program, Java space hash set demo. Now what will be the output? The output will be false followed by the content of this hash set. So why you are getting false here? Because I am trying to add a duplicate elements. If I try to add a duplicate elements, the compiler will not give any compile time error or the runtime exceptions. The add method just returns false. Okay. Now the output will be false followed by the contents of this hash set. False followed by the content of the hash set. You can observe here, the insertion order is not preserved in the case of hash set. The elements are inserted according to their hash code values. Okay. Next we have to see what is a linked hash set. Now we have to see what is linked hash set. So look at this diagram. So in this diagram you can see that linked hash set is the child class of hash set. So what is point number 1? The point number 1 is linked hash set is the child class of hash set. So what is the difference between hash set and the linked hash set? Actually linked hash set and hash set both are exactly same. So except the following differences. There are only 3 differences between linked hash set and hash set. You can see here it is exactly same as hash set. That is linked hash set is exactly same as hash set, including the constructors and methods. So except the following differences. There are only 3 differences between hash set and linked hash set. One difference you can see here. So what is the first difference? Hash set was introduced in 1.2 version. Linked hash set is introduced in 1.4 version. Now we are going to see the differences. So differences between hash set and linked hash set. So what is the first difference? The data structure. So what is the data structure of a hash set? The data structure of an hash set is hash table. So what is the data structure associated with a linked hash set? The data structure associated with a linked hash set is linked list and a hash table. The underlying data structure is the combination of linked list and hash table. Next, what about the insertion order? Does the insertion order is preserved in the hash set? No. Insertion order is not preserved in the case of hash set. What about in the case of linked hash set? Yes. The insertion order is preserved in the case of linked hash set. So what about the version? In which version the hash set was introduced? The hash set was introduced in 1.2 version. In which version the linked hash set was introduced? The linked hash set was introduced in 1.4 version. So only these are the differences between hash set and the linked hash set. So what is a linked hash set? A linked hash set is a child class of hash set. Next, what are the differences between hash set and a linked hash set? The first difference is with respect to the data structure. What is the data structure of an hash set? It is hash table. What is the data structure of a linked hash set? It is the combination of linked list and hash table. What is the second difference? The second difference is with respect to the insertion order. In the case of hash set, the insertion order is not preserved. In the case of linked hash set, the insertion order is preserved. In which version the hash set was introduced? It was introduced in 1.2 version. In which version the linked hash set was introduced? It was introduced in 1.4 version. So now we are going to see the example for linked hash set. Now we have to see an example for linked hash set. So this is an example for what? This is an example for hash set. So what is the difference between hash set and a linked hash set? In the case of hash set, the data structure is hash table. In the case of linked hash set, the data structure is the combination of linked list and hash table. What about the insertion order? In the case of hash set, the insertion order is not preserved. In the case of linked hash set, the insertion order is preserved. So these two are the major differences. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, instead of hash set, I'm going to make this as linked hash set. Linked hash set. You know that constructors and methods are same in the case of both hash set and linked hash set. Here also I'm going to make it as linked hash set. So now tell me, the linked hash set, does it support heterogeneous objects? Yes, it supports heterogeneous objects. Null insertion is possible? Yes, null insertion is possible in the case of linked hash set. What about duplicate elements? No, duplicate elements are not allowed. So what happens if I try to add a duplicate elements? If I try to add a duplicate elements, I will not get any compile time error, or I will not get any runtime exceptions. So what will happen? The add method just returns false. So what about the insertion order in the case of linked hash set? Yes, the insertion order is preserved in the case of linked hash set. So these are the differences. So I will compile the code. First I will save this. Compile javac hash set demo.java. So don't get confused with the file name, okay? File name is same, but what I have changed? I have changed the constructor. What is the constructor? Constructor is linked hash set. Now java space hash set demo. Now what will be the output? The output will be false followed by A, B, 10 and null. False followed by A, B, 10 and null. So this is the output for linked hash set. So what is the output for hash set? The output for hash set is false followed by null A, B, 10. You can observe here. In the case of hash set, the insertion order is not preserved. In the case of linked hash set, the insertion order is preserved. Okay. Yes. Next we have to see what is a sorted set. Now we have to see what is a sorted set. So consider this diagram. So what is a sorted set? Sorted set is a child interface of set. So what is the first point? Sorted set is a child interface of set. Next, when we should go for a sorted set? That is, if we want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity according to some sorting order and without any duplicates, then we should go for sorted set. That is, if we want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity according to what? According to some sorting order and without any duplicates. In that case, we should go for the sorted set. Okay. Now we have to see the sorted set interface specific methods. To explain these methods, consider this example. So this is a sorted set. You can see here the contents of the set is 100, 101, 104, 106, 110, 115 and 120. This set is sorted according to the ascending order. So now we are going to see the sorted set specific methods. Okay. First, my requirement is I want to access the first element in the set. So how I can access the first element in a set? The method name is first. So what it will return? It will return 100. So 100 is the first element. My second requirement is I want to access the last element in a set. So how I can access the last element? The method name is last. So what it will return? It will return 120. Next. The third method is I want to access the head set of a set. So head set of 106. So what are the contents of a headset of 106? Headset means top, okay? So what is there in the top of 106? 100, 101 and 104. The contents are what? The contents are 100, 101, 104. Remember, in a headset, you should not include the given element. You should not include the given object. So whatever there in the top of this object, you should consider that. So what is there in the top of 106? 100, 104 and 100, 101 and 104. The given object should not be included in the headset. Next, the next method is tail set. Tail set of 106. So what is the tail set of 106? In the tail set of 106, the given object should be included. Okay. So what is the tail set? Tail set is 106, 110, 115 and 120. So in a tail set, the given object should be included. 106, 110, 115, 120. Headset means upper part, tail set means lower part. Okay. Next, the next method is subset. Subset of, I will pass 101, 115. So what is the subset of 101 and 115? That is, it returns subset whose elements are greater than or equal to 101 and less than 115. The elements which are greater than or equal to 101 and less than 115. So what are the contents? Contents are 101, 104. Next 106, 110. So this is the subset of 101 and 115. The elements which are greater than or equal to 101 and less than 115. So these are the methods of sorted set. From here you can note down the methods of sorted set interface. Okay. So what is the first method? The first method is first. What it will return? It will return the first element of the sorted set. So what is the second method? The second method is last. What it will return? It will return the last element of the sorted set. The third method is head set. So what it will return? It will return the sorted set whose elements are less than the specified object. Next, the fourth method is tail set. So what it will return? It will return the sorted set whose elements are greater than or equal to the specified object. Next, the fifth method is the subset of object 1 and object 2. What it will return? It will return the subset whose elements are greater than or equal to the object 1 and less than object 2. And we have a comparator. So comparator method. So why comparator method is required? It is required for default natural sorting order. I will explain later, okay? In the next video, I will explain what is comparator and comparable. So comparator method, what it will return? The comparator object. So it will return the comparator object that describes the underlying sorting technique. So if we are using default natural sorting order, then it will return null. So what is default natural sorting order? The default natural sorting order for numbers is ascending order, and the default natural sorting order for the strings is alphabetical order. So you can pause the video and you can note down these methods. Now we are going to see about tree set. So in this diagram you can see, so what is a tree set? A tree set is a implementation class of navigable set. So just now we discussed about sorted set. What about navigable set? Navigable set we will see in the upcoming videos. Okay, navigable set we will see in the upcoming videos. Now we are going to discuss about tree set. So what is a tree set? A tree set is a implementation class of navigable set. So tree set is a class. So tree set is a collection. Since it is a collection, it is associated with some data structure. So what is the underlying data structure of tree set? The underlying data structure of tree set is balanced tree. Okay, the underlying data structure of a tree set is balanced tree. What about duplicate objects? Duplicate objects are not allowed in the case of tree set. Next, what about insertion order? Insertion order is not preserved in the case of tree set. Okay. Next, what about heterogeneous objects? Heterogeneous objects are not allowed. In the case of tree set, heterogeneous objects are not allowed. What happens if we try to add heterogeneous objects? If we try to add heterogeneous object, we will get a runtime exception saying class cast exception. Remember this. If we try to add heterogeneous objects, we are going to get a runtime exception saying class cast exception. Next, what about null insertion? Null insertion is not possible. Null insertion is not possible in the case of tree set. Okay. In the older generation of Java, null insertion is possible. In the latest version of Java, null insertion is not possible. Next, tree set implements which interfaces? Tree set implements serializable and clonable interfaces, and it will not implement random access. You know that random access interface is implemented only by linked list and vector classes. Next, how the objects will be stored in the tree sets? The object will be inserted based on some sorting order. You know that a tree set is implementing sorted set. So that is why all the object will be inserted based on some sorting order. It may be the default natural sorting order, or it may be the customized sorting order. So these are the important points with respect to the tree set. So what is the data structure? The underlying data structure is balanced tree. What about duplicate objects? Duplicate objects are not allowed. What about the insertion order? Insertion order is not preserved. What about heterogeneous objects? Heterogeneous objects are not allowed. What happens if we try to add heterogeneous objects? If we try to add heterogeneous objects, we are going to get a class cast exception. So what about null insertion? Null insertion is not possible. In a older version, it was possible. In the latest version of Java, it is not possible. So tree set implement which interfaces? Tree set implements serializable and clonable interfaces, but not random access interfaces. Next, how the object will be inserted in the tree set? The object will be inserted in the tree set according to some sorting order. It may be the default natural sorting order, or it may be the customized sorting order. Now we are going to see the constructors of tree set. So tree set totally has 4 constructors. So what is the first constructor? The first constructor is tree set t is equal to new tree set. So what this constructor is going to create? This constructor is going to create an empty tree set object where the elements will be inserted according to default natural sorting order. Okay. So what this constructor is going to create? This constructor is going to create an empty tree set objects where the elements will be inserted into the tree set according to the default natural sorting order. So what is the default natural sorting order for numbers? It is ascending order. What is the default natural sorting order for string? It is alphabetical order. Okay. Next, my next requirement is I don't want default natural sorting order. I want my own customized sorting order. Then I should go for the second constructor, that is tree set t is equal to new tree set of comparator c. So this comparator is used for customized sorting order. I will explain about this comparator in the next video. Okay, I will explain about comparator and comparable in the next video. Why comparator is required? Comparator is required for customized sorting order. So what this constructor is going to create? This constructor is going to create an empty tree set object where the elements are inserted according to the customized sorting order. So that is it creates an empty tree set object where the elements will be inserted according to the customized sorting order specified by the comparator object C. Okay. Next, the third constructor is tree set T is equal to new tree set of collection C. So why this constructor is required? This constructor is required to convert a given collection into the equivalent tree set. Okay. Given any collection, to get equivalent tree set, we can go for the third constructor, that is tree set T is equal to new tree set of collection C. What is the fourth constructor? The fourth constructor is tree set T is equal to new tree set of sorted set S. So why we should go for this constructor? Given any sorted set, if I want a equivalent tree set, I can go for the fourth constructor. To convert given any sorted set into the equivalent tree set, I can make use of the fourth constructor, that is tree set T is equal to new tree set of sorted set S. Okay, these are the four constructors of tree set. Now we are going to see an example for tree set. So first I am going to import java.util.star. Next, I am going to create a class called treesetDemo. Class treesetDemo. So within this class, I am going to define a main method, public static void main string array args. Now I want to create a tree set. So how to create a tree set? That is tree set T is equal to new tree set. So what this constructor is going to create? This constructor is going to create an empty tree set object where the elements will be inserted according to the default natural sorting order. Okay. This constructor is going to create an empty tree set object where the elements are inserted according to the default natural sorting order. So what is the default natural sorting order for numbers? It is ascending order. What is the default natural sorting order for strings? It is alphabetical order. Okay. Now I want to insert an element into the tree set. So how to insert the element into the tree set? What is the method to insert? The method to insert element into the tree set is add method. Add of, I am going to add capital A. Next, T dot add of, I am going to add small a, that is lower case a. T dot add of, I am going to add capital B. Next, T dot add of capital G. Next, T dot add of capital L. So these are the elements I have inserted into the tree set. Now tell me, in a tree set, can I insert heterogeneous elements? No, I cannot insert heterogeneous elements if the sorting order is default natural sorting order. So what happens if I try to add heterogeneous elements? That is T dot add of, I am going to add new integer of 10. Here I am trying to add a numerical data into the tree set. So first there is a string of data. I am trying to add a numerical data. This new primitive 10 is converted into the object, and that object I am inserting into the tree set. You know that integer wrapper is used to convert a primitive value, a primitive data type into the object data type. This is a primitive. I am converting this primitive into the integer object. Okay. So in this tree set, I am trying to add both string as well as a number. So what will happen? I am trying to add a heterogeneous objects. So what will happen if I try to add heterogeneous objects? If I try to add heterogeneous objects, I am going to get a runtime exception saying class cast exception. Now I will compile the program. So javac treesetDemo.java. Next, run the program java space treesetDemo. So what happens when I run the program? When I run the program, I am going to get a class cast exception. Why I am going to get class cast exception? Because I am trying to add a heterogeneous data elements. So what tree set supports? The tree set supports only homogeneous data elements if it is following default natural sorting order. If the tree set is following default natural sorting order, it only supports homogeneous data elements. So you can observe here, I am not passing any argument. That is, if I am going to pass comparator, then it means that the tree set is following customized sorting order. If I am not passing any argument, then tree set is following default natural sorting order. So in the case of default natural sorting order, heterogeneous objects are not allowed. In the case of customized sorting order, heterogeneous objects are allowed. So when I run this program, I am going to get a class cast exception. You can see here, exception in thread main java.lang. class cast exception. Okay, so I'm going to comment this line. Next, I'm going to add t dot add of, I'm going to add null. So what happens if I try to add null? Can I insert null into the tree set? No, null acceptance is not possible. What happens if I try to insert null? If I try to insert null, I'm going to get null pointer exception. So compile the code. Yes, now run the program. What happens when I run this program? When I run this program, I'm going to get a null pointer exception because null insertion is not possible in the case of tree set. So you can see here, exception in thread main java.lang. null pointer exception. So even I'm going to comment this line. Okay, next I'm going to print the content of the tree set. How to print the contents? System dot out dot println of t. So what it is going to print? It is going to print the content of this tree set in a sorted order. So I am passing both small a and capital A. So which way will come first? Small a, lowercase a or uppercase a? So what is the Unicode of capital A and what is the Unicode of small a? It depends on the Unicode, okay? Compile, run the program. What is the output we are getting? We are getting capital A, B, L, Z and followed by small letter a. So you know that the Unicode value of small a is 97 and the Unicode value of capital A is 65. So the elements are sorted according to their Unicode values. Okay. So this is about the tree set.